So the second case study I looked into was Trent Hodgkinson, as he tore his wrist ligament, which is a grade 2 sprain. So this means that he's going to be out for around 4 to 6 weeks from playing rugby. So again, the breakdown. So again, I think during the injury, I think he'll be frustrated, as this injury isn't as extreme as a broken leg or like a broken arm. But I think the first response will be that he'll be very frustrated. This is because he'll be annoyed the fact he can't carry on playing in the rugby game and have to be subbed off because of this injury. Um, Next, I think he'll be fearful, um, because if he does carry on, it could get worse. Anger, as he gets angry at himself because he thinks that he could prevent the injury from using a different technique, and he might have felt like he could have tackled the person he did in a different way, which could have meant he didn't get injured. Then I think he'll be bargaining, as he'll be asking his coach and medic team if he can play, and may tell them that it's not as bad as it looks, and he'll be fine to carry on playing the game. Frustration again, I think, because when they tell him that playing will make the injury worse, it will cause and could cause more issues to the wrist. He might begin to get frustrated and annoyed because he knows that he won't be able to play in that game or future games. And lastly, he'll start to accept it. But yeah, he'll start to accept the fact that he won't be playing for a bit after the injury. So again, I think he won't experience all the emotions of the injury and stages of grief, but I've picked out the main ones. So anxiety. This may kick in after the injury has occurred, as he starts to feel anxious of how serious the injury is and yeah, how long he'll be out for. And he'll start to get angry as he'll be missing out of up to 6 weeks of training, and that can make him angry because he knows that his fitness levels and will start to decrease, and he may not get in that starting team again when he gets back from injury. Sorry. Isolation, I think, will be a main one with this, because obviously it is a team sport and he'll be missing out of training and he'll feel isolated from his teammates. Um, and I feel like yeah, isolation will be a main one because obviously he will have that connection with his teammates. Obviously, is in the changing room and going out socially after games. And this could lead to depression from being isolated because it can make him feel sad and upset, and he'll be missing out with the banter from the teammates. And lack of motivation. Um, Also, because if he's feeling depressed, he may feel not motivated at all to do anything. And lastly, he'll accept it. This will happen when the athlete knows the harm that it will cause if he carried on playing with that injury. So treatment responses. Firstly, anxiety from the treatment. Um, because at the beginning this may cause some stress and like lose sleep, again like the last previous example I said. However, once it's happened, they'll start to ask questions and about the process and his injury, and he'll gain knowledge from it. Frustration, so this will show how much he cares about rugby, and annoyed that fact he's going to be out for a bit and feel like he might let his teammates down. A goal setting, so he can make smart targets for himself. When he achieves this, it can motivate himself to get better. Motivation, so as he begins to make the process and recovery, as he knows that the process is starting to work and his wrist starting to heal, it will motivate him to set more goals, um, to get back as soon as he can to playing and getting them fitness levels up again. A goal setting, so as he's motivated, he'll make more goals to achieve them. Lastly, strategies. Again, I think listening to music will help him express his emotions for rugby. Like listening to music that they would listen to in the changing room will also help him feel like part of the team still, and like he's still listening to the same sort of things, and it'll help the recovery process. Relaxation, because this will help the wrist recover better, and you could also do more research into different plays about rugby and all that, and in order to get better when he gets back. Self-talk, so this could either be out loud to himself or to himself, like in his head, as a way of expressing his feelings and telling himself that he's doing a good job and doing well in the rehabilitation process. Watching the sport, I think, is the main one. So going and being on the sideline and actually watching and analysing performance and helping teammates improve, as well as because also watching, you'll be able to see a lot more than when you play. So you'll be able to help his teammates improve, and also see where he would change, what he would do differently if he was still playing, and so he'd change that when he goes back into playing again. Yeah, so attending sessions, like I just said, so this will help his isolation, as he won't feel as isolated as if he's still being part of the team and being part of their banter, and also socialising them as well in the change rooms, as well as going out for a sesh after with them. And also a diary, so as I say, he can write down his feelings and his routine, and his structure, so he keeps to his daily routine as much as possible. So he's when he gets back into full fitness, that nothing's changes and he doesn't get too worn out from just being lazy, really, from not doing anything.